finish our list. Important.
Well,
Whether therefore ye eat or drink or whatsoever ye do, do all to the glory of God. Good evening and welcome to another edition of Nature's Way here on Waves 96.3 FM. I am Debbie, your host, and with me is Nebert, and we will be sharing some very important information with you this evening. I hope you have been having a wonderful Sunday evening. We got some showers of blessings earlier this morning and today, and we are here to share in this program with you Nature's Way here on Waves 96.3 FM. Welcome to our listeners on the radio who are always there. And just want to say that we may be having a little technical difficulties. We experienced a little technical difficulty not too long ago, but by God's grace, we will go through without any glitches, any more glitches. We are happy to be here with you. Welcome, Nebert, who will be co-hosting with me this afternoon. Let us pray. Our Father which art in heaven, thank you for your grace and your mercies towards us. Thank you for all that you do on our behalf. We thank you for this opportunity that you have given us to share your words with others, to share your remedies that you have given to us with others. I pray, dear Lord, that for those who are sick, that you will touch them with your healing hand, because you are the healer. And that we will be obedient to your words in doing the things that we ought to do to keep ourselves healthy with your help. Bless us now and strengthen us and guard, guide, and protect and touch everything in studio so it may work to its optimal. As we say thanks in Jesus' name, amen.
amen.
Okay, all right. So the last time I was here, we were looking at the gastrointestinal on the digestive system. And so we're going to be continuing with that this afternoon because it is very important that we take care of our digestive system. And digestive system, of course, we know this is where when we eat, everything goes in and everything, what we eat affects us either negatively or positively. All right, so we have to ensure that what we put in is good for our bodies. And we always say that we should not put the things that don't agree with our bodies, right? Not the things that get us sick and the things that make us unhealthy. All right, so our encouragement to you, as always, is to follow the 8 laws of health so that you can be healthy. We will get sick, Nebra, because there are environmental factors that are out there that will cause us to get sick, but you don't stay sick or you are not down for too long.
Right.
And by God's grace and our belief in Him will help us to recuperate a very short time.
That's right.
When your body is used to being healthy and you feed your bodies with the healthiest things, the diseases will, whatever ailment it is, will come, but it won't stay with you, and it will not be compounded, or it will not get complicated. All right. So we have to be obedient to the word of God. Yeah. All right. So gastrointestinal system, and so right. But before we get into the discussion in the conditions, though, Nebert is going to share something with us from the biblical dietetics.
Right. Um, the book Counsel on Health, page 116 to 117. Counsels on Health, page 116 to 117. The book says, our bodies are constructed from what we eat. And in order to make tissues of good quality, we must have the right kind of food. And it must be prepared with such skill as will best adapt it to the wants of the system. It is a religious duty for those who cook to learn how to prepare healthful food in a variety of ways so that it may be both palatable and helpful. Poor cookery is wearing away the life energies of thousands. More souls are lost from this cause than many realize. It deranges the system and produces diseases. In the condition thus induced, heavenly things cannot be readily discerned. Some do not feel that it is a religious duty to prepare food properly. Hence, they do not try to learn how. But there is more religion in a good loaf of bread than many think. A wrong course of eating or drinking destroys the health, and with it the sweetness of life. That's
Right.
it.
I like that section that you said. Some do not believe that
Yes, some
it
do not
is a
feel
religious
religious, yes,
duty. And
to prepare food
I just
properly.
want to expound on that a little bit.
Sure.
It's our religious duty.
Mhm.
It's our duty to God because He made us and we have to take care of the machinery that He has given to us.
Yes.
It is our duty to take care. If somebody gives you a gift, it is your duty to take care of that gift.
Yes.
All right. And if
Hmm.
you say you got a motor car as a gift and you got it with a manual, the first thing you're going to do is to read the manual
Yes.
to ensure that you put what is to go in the motor
Hmm.
vehicle, the correct petrol, where water is to go, where the petrol is to go, where the oils are to go, and all of that. And you have to ensure that you know how to take care of it because if you don't, you are going to destroy it, right?
Yes.
God has given us this machinery and He has given us the blueprint, Genesis 1:29. And we have to know what it is that we are to put in this machinery so that it can work to its optimum and
Yes.
to take care of
Definitely
it,
so.
right?
Definitely so.
So
Yes.
it is our religious
Hmm.
duty to
Yes.
take care of our bodies.
Yes. I
And
believe so.
and this is one of the reasons we have this program to help you on a healthful, wholesome living. All right,
Yeah.
spiritually, physically, mentally, and all the alleys, and for a wholesome, healthy living. God is displeased with us when we don't do the things that are right to our bodies, that are right, period. So let us live to please Him. All right?
Mhm.
All right, so we're looking at the digestive system, and as I said
Yeah.
earlier, what you put in your mouth, it goes straight through your digestive system.
Yeah.
And this system, a lot of times, sometimes when well, a lot of times, what we eat gets get us sick, and so we have to drink the right things, we have to eat the right things, and we have to do the right things. And Nebert mentioned in earlier about preparing the food. So we have to ensure that the food is properly prepared, our environment is clean, hygienic, and all of that, because it will affect this very delicate system,
Yeah.
and it is delicate. You know,
Yes.
some persons won't have an issue immediately, but some will have an issue immediately
Yes.
after consuming
Yes.
food that are not good for consumption.
Well, say a special good afternoon to Terry,
Yes.
who has joined us on the program. Thank you so very much for
Hi
joining us.
Terry, welcome.
All right,
Yes.
just want to give this little disclaimer.
Mhm. Right. So remember that we are not medical practitioners. We care here on Nature's Way. We share here on Nature's Way because we care. So whatever the information that we present in this presentation this afternoon is intended for information and not for diagnosis of any particular health conditions of our listeners or our viewers. We give no guarantee of the outcome of the use of this information. All right. We share this information, it's general information, and we share it because we care. We share the information also because persons have had experience with using these remedies and they have helped, right? And this is why we share with you so that you can get help as well.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
All right. So we looked at a few conditions the last time we were here. We looked at heartburn and we looked at hiatal hernia and among some others. Um, yes, and we're going to be looking at moving on to others. We are going to look at vomiting. A lot of persons, nobody likes to vomit. That's an exercise that nobody likes to do. But there are times when you have to induce vomiting, right, in order for you to get relief. And I'm just going to share with you what you can do to in order to help you and what you can do after you have vomited. I think I've shared this, but I just want to reiterate some of the things. Now, of course, vomiting or emesis is another term for it. It's when you vomit, right? So vomiting is the return of the stomach contents through the mouth. Most cases of vomiting are not due to severe illnesses. So when you vomit, most of the time it is not linked to a severe illness. Sometimes we just say there's a bug in your stomach that needs to be that needs to come out, and this is why you feel that way. Sometimes persons may eat too fast, and or they may eat something and eat a meal and then they drink immediately afterwards, and this also causes that. It also causes acid reflux, and then sometimes you develop nausea. Now the cause is often overeating, as I'm saying, eating the wrong food and poor combinations of food, or excess alcohol consumption. So these are the things that cause. Sometimes there are allergies, sometimes there are poisoning, food poisoning, and maybe you may have an infection. Some persons, when they have the flu or a cold, when they eat certain things, especially dairy products and so on, they end up getting nauseous and, of course, vomiting afterwards. Now, sometimes you eat and you have a upset stomach and you want to get rid of that feeling, that heavy feeling in your stomach, so you would need to induce vomiting. Now, to help vomiting, if you have eaten something poisonous and or are having a gallbladder bladder attack, an emetic will help. Now, you can drink an emetic herb. It's a herb tea, lobelia. This one is probably the best. When giving lobelia tea, you need to give the full dose. So if you are taking lobelia, you need to take the full dose. And that is 1 ounce of lobelia to 1 quart of boiling water. All right. And you're going to let this steep for 5 to 10 minutes. All right. And then you have a cup or two of the liquid. you're not going to have it hot. So this is why you let it steep for 5 to 10 minutes, because you don't want to have it hot. Now, there are some other emetic herbs that you can also use: bayberry bark, myrica, white willow, peach leaves, and ragwort. All right. So enemas can also be used also fasting. Now, a mild herbal laxative will also cleanse the stomach. The nerve action of fear or panic sometimes also induce vomiting. So sometimes you're nervous about something, nervous about traveling, nervous about performing or doing a presentation, and sometimes persons they get not develop nausea, and sometimes they vomit. Now, you can use a herb to calm the stomach, and these herbs you can use teas of peach, peppermint, or raspberry leaves, or you can chew some cloves, and this will help also. All right. Okay. So now, to stop vomiting, because some persons may be vomiting for a while and you want to stop it, you can also give very small doses of lobelia. So lobelia is you can use to induce it, but you have to give the full dose. And then to stop it, you give small doses of the same herb. They will relax the person and the vomiting will cease. So you're going to use a teaspoon of boiling water, steep, and take only a teaspoonful of it every 15 minutes until relief is obtained. All right, so you can use lobelia to induce vomiting, and you can also use it to stop vomiting. But when you're using it to induce, you will use the full dose. All right, you can also use a cup of hot peppermint or spearmint tea. All right, so make sure this is after your stomach is cleaned out, though. So after you have been vomiting for a while, then you can use that to calm your stomach. All right, you can also use catnip or sweet balm. These are also useful. You can also do a hot fermentation. Put a hot fermentation over the stomach. You can use a hot water bottle, and you can put it on top of a moist towel, and then you put it on your stomach area, and it will help to settle your stomach. Now, there are some old-fashioned remedies that you can use to control incessant vomiting. You can use half of a peeled raw onion under your armpit. Now, this is an old-fashioned remedy, and I am told that it works. So you can try that as well. So you um, peel the onion, cut it in half, peel it, and you put a piece under each of your armpit. You can also place an ice pack against the back of your neck in order to calm your stomach, and then that will help to stop the vomiting. Now, after vomiting, you do not eat for several hours, but carefully take in fluids and take them in as you are able. Take it in slowly, not a lot. All right?
Yeah, and and the reason you take it in slowly is because your stomach is not prepared
Right.
to deal with the amount of food that is coming into your stomach.
Mm-hmm.
And so you would want to try like a broth first before you go into anything hard.
Yes.
And pimento leaves are excellent
Mm-hmm.
for this purpose, to soothe the stomach so that you do not vomit a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and to also stop vomiting.
Yes.
And so whenever the vomiting occurs, it means that something um, out of the norm has happened to your body.
Mm-hmm.
One of the first things you must do is to find out what it is, that has changed in your lifestyle.
Mm.
And once you determine what has changed, then you can very easily determine what has caused you to vomit. And then you can desist from doing that thing that caused it in the first place.
Right.
Because it wouldn't make any sense for you to try to stop it. And then you're
You go
inducing
back
it,
to the same,
you're
yes,
inducing it
using
at the
it.
same time. And so you have to find out what caused it in the first place, stop that thing that caused it in the first place, and then move on now to the corrective stages. It is important though that if somebody has been vomiting for over a period of time, that you make sure that the person is properly hydrated.
Right.
And so the person, you can give them hydration salt, and then you can make this yourself. So the person, so you give it to the person, but the person don't drink it all at once. They sip it,
Right.
so that it can go into the cells, the person's blood cells, and the water can return there because you are emitting a lot of fluid. Some persons sweat, and you're losing fluid from your sweat, you're losing fluid from your breathing. Some persons cry, you are talking, you're losing fluid from all that. Plus you are emitting fluid. So you're sweating, you're coughing, you're talking, you're crying, all of these things, and you're urinating. All of these things. And so you have to make sure that the fluid is the fluid, the hydration process replace the fluid that you have lost. Because if you don't do this, then you may become dehydrated.
Right.
And so you cannot afford for your illness to sink very far. You have to cauterize it as soon as possible, to so that it does not get very bad.
Yes. And the fluids that they have to be clear fluids, light
Yes,
fluids. So
yes.
water, you might drink some tea, but the tea has to be weak,
Right,
not too strong.
right, and without sugar.
Right, without any sweetener.
Mm.
And you can drink a small amount of the peppermint tea as well. And just to note that vomiting also flushes out minerals from your body. So, and these need to be replaced with electrolyte drinks. So, clear soups, not those heavy soups, and you can do the natural apple juice and cranberry juice to get these back, right? Water is best, so but you can use these electrolyte drinks to put them back. You can also drink a little coconut water, but sip it. Don't drink it down all at once.
Yeah.
So sip the fluids and pause, and then you sip a little more. And right, do not gulp it down because this is going to irritate your stomach, and then you may just bring it back up and induce vomiting again. All right. So you can sip some plain hot water or some broth, and if you can, if you are able to, you can also use put some cayenne pepper in your broth, because the cayenne pepper also helps to heal your stomach. Some persons you'll get a little burn, but it's not for long. All right, and you can do that. You can also drink some calming teas like comfrey and chamomile, cloves and basil,
Spanish needle flowers.
Spanish needle, licorice root, and some yarrow as well. You can also use. Now, ginger is unusually powerful, right? And it can help to stop the vomiting. It can help to stop motion sickness as well, and altitude sickness and nausea. All right. So do not drink cold fluids. Even though you have to drink the fluids, do not drink cold fluids. Either hot, warm, or room temperature. Not cold, not ice cold. All right. So you are going to shock your weakened stomach if you do that. So, and don't drink any carbonated um, products either. All right. So our encouragement to you this afternoon is God bids us to fill the mind with great thoughts, pure thoughts. He desires us to think upon His love and mercy to us. Study in the Bible the plan He has to save us through faith in Jesus Christ. and that's found in Matthew 7:78 and 11. And there's a text in the Bible, Nebert, that says, I know the thought that I
Jeremiah
have of
29:11.
you, thoughts of,
Jeremiah 29, verse 11.
right,
I
Jeremiah
know the thoughts
29,
that I think toward you, thoughts
thoughts
of
of
peace
peace
and
and
not
of,
of evil, to give
right,
you an expected end.
right.
Mhm.
God loves us and
Mhm.
He's so merciful to us.
Mhm.
And He wants us to be in good health. He wants us to prosper.
Yeah.
Good evening, Carol Jackson. Good evening and welcome. Hope you have been having a wonderful evening. All right, so we're going to look at indigestion. All right, so indigestion or food digestion or dyspepsia. Now, the symptoms for indigestion is disturbed,
Poor digestion. Yeah.
yes, poor digestion,
Mhm.
yes, disturbed or deranged digestion, sour stomach, some persons, those are the symptoms, acid stomach, indigestion, and poor assimilation. All right, so these are the symptoms for indigestion. Now, dyspepsia is a hyperacidity condition in the body where certain cooked and secondary substances cannot be digested. The problem may also be with the liver or the gallbladder. This is caused by eating processed and um, devitalized foods. Indigestion is poor assimilation or difficulty in processing the food properly in order to get the proper value from it. The whole body must be tuned up and the diet changed. The use of aluminum based digestive tablets that are sold on the market give only a temporary relief, so you don't need to use that. And aluminum poisoning is a side effect of this. All right? Eat proper foods and use the lower bowel tonic, which is prescribed in the, and there's a cleansing program that I will share later on. So you can use these things, and these things are natural. For the cleansing program, you can use um, these natural herbs in order to help you. Now, instead of using those aids which are highly advertised and are high in aluminum, which cause aluminum poisoning, you're going to use the herbs for the nerves, stomach, and bowels. All right? And these herbs are called carminative herbs. Now, these herbs will assist the stomach, the other herbs that you're going to use for the stomach, which are the stomach herbs, to improve elimination. Alternative herbs will cleanse the blood and tune up other excretory organs. All right? Stimulant diuretic herbs will help eliminate waste matter that may be causing the problem, um, causing your indigestion. Yes. So a good digestive tonic, such as sarsaparillas or ginseng, may be taken 15 or 20 minutes before eating. Lemon juice sweetened with honey may also be taken before your meals in order to help your digestive system, in order to help you digest the foods that you eat.
Yeah, and indigestion. One of the things that you have to do is very important is that you don't mix it up with any other type of gastrointestinal problem. And you have to make sure that it is really and truly indigestion. Right? And so you have to make sure that you look for the symptoms. Make sure that the symptoms match the ones that you have, because there are other symptoms. There are other things that might be happening to your stomach that you believe it is indigestion, but it is not. Something that always happens and people believe it is indigestion is heart attack as well.
Yes.
Some persons are having a heart attack, but they believe it is indigestion.
Yeah.
Some persons might be having a stomach hernia, and they might think it is indigestion. Some persons might have an ulcer stomach, and they think it is indigestion. And so you have to be very careful and be properly diagnosed before you say that it is indigestion. Make sure, because you don't want to be treated for the wrong thing.
Exactly.
So
Or taking the wrong remedy.
right, or taking the wrong remedy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. So remember the symptoms again: poor digestion, it's disturbed or deranged digestion. So it means you are not digesting what you have eaten. And then you have sour stomach, so
Yes.
you keep belching. We're going to be looking at belching later on, I think. You keep belching, but it is sour, and it is, you have that sour feeling and smell. And also your stomach is acidic. Yeah, acid stomach it is called. All right, and poor assimilation. So you have to ensure that as Nebert said, the symptoms are correct before you start treating, because there are herbs that you can take, and one herb help the other. So you have the carminative herbs. This will help the stomach herbs to work, right? And then you have those diuretics, those eliminative herbs. So you take all of these together in when you have an indigestion problem. So these will help to soothe the stomach. They'll help to with elimination, and it would also help to calm your stomach. All right. So these are, and lemon juice is very, very good. The lemon juice is very, very good. We are told we are to drink a glass of lemon juice or lime juice in the mornings, and not cold, not with any ice, not with cold water, just room temperature.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because it alkalizes the body.
Yes.
So this is what it
Yes.
is.
Right. And it helps you helps you to rid your body of diseases as well. All right.
Disease cannot live in an alkaline
body. Right. So um, there are some things that we need to look at, and some things that we need to consider. For example, when you have indigestion, sometimes, as Nebert said, you may mistake it for either a heart attack or heartburn or some other condition. So you need to ensure, and it is very important, so that is why it is being repeated, that you look at the symptoms carefully. See what is it I am having, what is it I'm experiencing, and then you can treat with it.
Yes.
Right. Right. So our encouragement comes to us from Psalm 5 and verse 12, and it says, "The Father appreciates every soul whom his Son has purchased by the gift of his life. Every provision has been made for us to receive divine power, which will enable us to overcome temptations. Through obedience and Christ's enabling grace to all God's requirements, the soul is preserved unto eternal life."
Yes.
Right. Okay. And another condition we want to look at this evening is griping. Yes. So griping, and as the symptom, is an intense spasmodic pain in the lower bowels. Right. So overloading the stomach or bowel may cause the peristaltic area to cease functioning. This can be very painful, and it is generally caused by malnutrition, poor assimilation, similar to the symptom, which is one of the symptoms of indigestion as well, by gorging, and by improper types of food. The overuse of corn will, which is not chewed properly, or eating too much, may eating too much, green apples are good examples of causes of bowel griping. Do not permit such unhelpful self-indulgence. All right. So, persons talk about food gorging. Yes. So we
Yes.
have to be careful.
Yes.
Mhm.
Make sure that when you are eating, that you don't swallow a lot of air as well.
Yes, we talked about that the last time. Yes.
Because when you swallow a lot of air,
Mhm.
it will contribute to your intense spasmodic pain in your lower abdomen as well.
Mhm.
All right, and I notice sometimes the children are griping and so on,
Mhm.
and so what you'll notice is the air, your flatulence and so on, keep coming out because you're taking in a lot of air as well in it. All right,
Yeah.
and so you have to be very careful of that.
Right. So there are some remedies for griping that we can share with you as well. And this is not just for adults. It can be used for, because we are, when we talk about griping, the first thing that comes to mind is babies. But adults
And
do
marigold. Yes.
experience others do experience
Mm.
this as well. So there are some remedies that you can use. You can use a hot pack of mullein or slipper M with 1/4 part lobelia, again, on the afflicted area. That's your lower abdomen. Or if you can also use a tincture of lobelia, you can use to rub it in the specific area, into the specific area and over the spine area, controlling the affected part. You can also take a few drops of tincture of lobelia in warm water, and this will stop the griping immediately. So you can get these at your health food store. The use of a hot castor oil pack with a hot water bottle over it on the area will often stop the pain as well. So if the griping is low in the bowel, use a catnip tea enema. So you're going to make the catnip tea and you're going to do an enema. All right. So there are also some other useful herbs like anise seed, um, balm, bay leaves, caraway seed, catnip, of course, coriander, ginger, pennyroyal, nutmeg, and thyme. These are some other herbs, useful herbs that you can use for griping.
And marigold.
Marigold, yes, marigold as
Excellent.
well. That is excellent. So you can use these because these have to do with your stomach area, and these will help to soothe and to stop the pain, because it can be painful. So um, just like when you say you have gas and there's this pain, it's the same thing. All right, so you can use these herbs to soothe that as well. All right, so enlarged stomach now is another condition. All right, so the symptom for an enlarged stomach, although the person is eating far more than the person needs to eat, yet he is hungry and ready to still eat more. So you get an enlarged stomach when you do this. So we pack on the food, and then you pack on the stomach, the weight and the stomach. So you get an enlarged stomach. So the stomach changes in size according to whether a person consistently eats small meals or large meals. Many people eat far more than they really need to eat. All right. And of course, this can be easily remedied. So you just go maybe on a 3-day fruit diet and fruit and vegetable diet, fast. You can do that. And then you can plan not to eat a lot or drink a lot immediately after you eat, or to drink a lot in general. All right. And the only thing you must drink a lot of is water. All right.
I do this before eating.
Yes. Half an hour or to an hour
Yeah.
before you eat,
Mhm.
or half an hour or to
Mhm.
an hour after you eat, not
Mhm.
while you eat.
Mhm.
All right. And you can use foods, you can eat the foods that will not pack on the pounds, right? That will not cause your stomach to be enlarged. Those nourishing fruits and vegetables, beans and nuts and vitamins and minerals are packed in these foods, and you need to use those. All right, you can also use uncooked flaxseed or wheat germ oil when you're cooking your meal or preparing your meal. When you're doing your um, salad, you can use these oils over it, and this will help to not to keep you at a moderate weight. All right. So you will take small bites and chew everything very well. Do not talk much while you are doing this, or you will get forget and eat too much. You know, when we were growing up, Nebert, persons used to say that when we're watching television while eating, it encourages you to eat a lot.
Right.
Right. So when you're eating, it is best that you sit and you eat. You eat your meal, concentrate on having your meal.
Mhm.
While you're doing something else, you tend to overeat. And overeating will cause all of this. An enlarged stomach, it will cause indigestion, it will also cause griping, especially if you're eating and talking as well. All right. Okay. So take small bites and make sure you chew everything. Do not talk much while you're eating, or you will eat too much. You will not be rushed when you eat. So you need to take time and eat. All right. Eat no junk food, no processed food, greasy foods, or sugary foods. No, these should not pass your lips. No carbonated beverages, no coffee, no tobacco or alcohol. Do not eat these things. All right? So, when you do all of this, you clear your mind and body so you can regain simple tastes while you eat. Now, some persons eat too fast. They don't even, it's as if you're on haste. You eat fast and you don't even, when you eat, you don't taste the food, so to speak. All right, you don't taste the food itself. Some persons, when they eat, you sit and you eat, you take your time, you eat, you will taste the flavors, you will taste all the things. You can actually tell what was put in the food. But some persons eat so fast that they don't
Pay attention to
pay,
things like that.
right, they don't have time to pay attention to it. All right. So we cannot overestimate the value of simple faith and unquestioning obedience. It is by following in the path of obedience in simple faith that the character obtains perfection. Matthew 5 and verse 48 reminds us of this. All right. And we have to exercise that faith in God. When He says we're to do something, we should just do it because He's God. He loves us. His thought for us is that we may prosper and be in health. And if He tells us not to eat something, we should be obedient and not
Yes.
eat it. All right. So there is another condition that is insufficient stomach acid, and it's also called achlorhydria. a chloridria. All right, and this is one of these insufficient stomach acid. The symptoms include burping, belching, and bloating. Now, gastric acid is necessary for digestion, although most of its components are later reabsorbed in the intestine. Now, the stomach begins losing its ability to produce hydrochloric acid at the age of about 35. Of those over the age of 50, 75% do not produce enough hydrochloric acid. Yet, without it, protein foods cannot be properly digested. Now, when the stomach does not have enough hydrochloric acid, intestinal bacteria and yeast, Candida albicans, are able to enter it and ferment high carbohydrate foods such as juice, fruit, breads, etc. Now, continued low hydrochloric acid production results in B12, calcium, and protein deficiencies. New food allergies can begin because large fragments of food pass through the gastrointestinal tract undigested. Bloated stomach and even anemia can result from this. Right, so that's insufficient stomach acid. And when these things happen, we see where we now have a deficiency of calcium, protein, and vitamin B12. All right. Now, some of the natural remedies that we can do, we can use lemon juice diluted with water.
Yes.
Or totally undiluted, if you can tolerate it, and you are going to take this at the beginning of each meal. All right. So do not take antacids. They neutralize stomach acids and make the problem even worse. In addition, many of them contain aluminum and other harmful ingredients, including calcium carbonate, which will cause the stomach to produce even more HCI or hydrochloric acid than before. Magnesium compounds lead to diarrhea, and sodium bicarbonate can result in gas and bloating. Right. So gum chewing keeps stomach acid flowing and weakens the stomach. Drinking lots of fluid with a meal dilutes the stomach juices. That is why we are told not to drink while we eat. Due to their bitter qualities, gentian and milfoil increase stomach juice secretion.
Yeah, gentian by that.
Yes, like gentian. Right. So these are bitter and they increase stomach juice secretion. So your stomach juices you have to give your stomach juices the opportunity to work, to help with your digestion. So when you eat your meals and you are drinking too much, then you cause your stomach fluids not to work, and then you get bloating and indigestion and you get sick. So, and then you're saying after a meal you have to take these antacids and so on, and these are not good for you because these are filled with aluminum and other harmful ingredients, and they will compound the problem even more. All right. And there are some of them that contain magnesium as well, and in this case the magnesium will compound the problem and it will lead to diarrhea and so on. So when you eat then you start getting sick. And you don't want that to happen. All right? Okay.
Excess hydrochloric acid.
Yes. Right. So there was not enough. No, there insufficient stomach acid, and no, this is excess hydrochloric acid.
Yeah.
So,
This occurs. The symptoms of this is a burning sensation in the stomach,
mhm,
and also a burning sensation in the stomach, and this is acidosis.
mhm.
Right, we call it acidosis as well, possibly heartburn and reflux disease.
Yeah.
Right, the causes of it, what causes this? Most persons, especially elderly persons, do not produce enough hydrochloric acid. Hydrochloric acid is HCI, but some produce it, an excess of it. So sometimes don't produce enough, but sometimes some persons produce an excess of it.
Mhm.
Byfield, good
Byfield,
good
yes.
afternoon.
Thank you for
Norma
joining.
Byfield, good to have you on this afternoon.
Mhm.
Um, what are the natural remedies for excess hydrochloric acid? So begin the meal with a few nuts. Remember that Genesis 1 and verse 29 gives us the diet that God gave to mankind, and this diet that God gave to us consists of fruits, nuts, and grains. And so, when you have an excess of hydrochloric acid, this is what you should do. Begin your meals, all of your meals, with a few nuts, which you chew well before swallowing. All right,
Mhm.
so chew the nuts well, and then you swallow them. They will soak up some of the stomach juices. All right, giving it something to work on while you continue your meal. And so this is very important. Eat a nourishing diet. Make sure that you're eating a nourishing diet. Avoid very acid foods like citrus and vinegar and cranberries or plums. Try to avoid these when you have an excess of hydrochloric acid in the stomach. And take a full vitamin mineral supplement. Um, and so try to make sure that you do this, or make sure that is the vitamin, or the all of the vitamins are included in your diet on a daily basis. I consistently eat smaller. Consistently eat smaller food. Did you know that you, when you go to eat, you do not have to have a full belly? The only thing you need is to ensure that you are receiving nourishing food.
Nourishment.
Had received nourishment. So sometimes don't fill your stomach when you're eating. Just make sure that the type of food that you're eating are nourishing food. So consistently eat smaller food, highly nourishing meals, and the stomach will gradually adapt itself to producing less hydrochloric acid. Make sure you are eating enough protein. Protein is very important to our diet, and so protein is converted to amino acid um, by the pancreas. So you have to make sure that you are getting enough. Our bodies need a lot of that type of conversion in our body. All right, so make sure you do that. Um, John Harvey Kellogg is a very special doctor that existed back in the day, back in the 1800s, early 1900s. Yeah, a medical doctor, and he has a prescription for excess hydrochloric acid and its complications. He says how to give water therapy. So he identified water therapy as something that can be used. Dietary consideration. He says avoid irritating foods, mustard and pepper and spices and condiments of all sorts, all kinds of flesh food, excess of protein and hot foods. Pernicious and sweet desserts and frequent meals. There are some persons who now tell you that in order to maintain a slim diet, you must eat very regularly. If you want to get rid of excess hydrochloric acid, now forget about eating these small meals at intervals. Just make sure that you eat in the morning, you have good breakfast, and I have dinner. Make sure you have the dinner before it gets dark. All right, like about 2 hours or hours before it gets started. Um, and then increase general vital resistance. As we have, so try to make sure that your body receives enough tonic on a daily basis. And this is not something that you have a liquid or so that you have to buy. It can also be the type of foods that you eat that will revitalize your body, increase. So you increase these general vital resistance, and then you combat irritation of gastric glands or hypersecretion, revulsive compress twice daily, and hour before meals, continuous heating compress without plastic covering during the interval between. Avoid cold douche over stomach and spine opposite the stomach, and also prolonged cold bath. I love cold bath, but don't don't do this very often if your body is producing excess of hydrochloric acid. And a lot of persons, especially many persons were born and grew up with the old parent, like grandmother, great grandmother, and so on. They always have these hot these hot
Water
bags.
bags,
Yeah,
the
these
hot water
water bags.
bags.
Now, once you have are producing excess hydrochloric acid, then this is something that you have to cut down on. All right, don't do this quite a lot. So if you have a problem, your stomach is hurting you, make sure that you do not practice this a lot. What is the encouragement that we give to you then in this section of excess hydrochloric acid? Um, the tender mercies of God are unmeasured, and those who appreciate the love of Christ will be renewed in true holiness and brought into Christ, their loving head. They will be followers of God as their children. Kind words are a due and gentle are as dew and gentle showers to the soul. The scriptures says of Christ that grace was poured into his lips, and that he might know how to speak word in season to him that is weary. And the Lord bids us, let your speech always be seasoned with grace, that it may minister grace unto the hearers. When the heart is pure, rich treasures of wisdom will flow forth. Um, and so I also want to talk to you about chronic gastritis, as well. All right, chronic gastritis, chronic gastritis. Um, so unlike now, sometimes you have acute gastritis. No, unlike acute gastritis, chronic gastritis. What are the symptoms? The symptoms of chronic gastritis can these symptoms can extend for a good period, for a long period. Nausea, vomiting, fever, diarrhea, abdominal pain, loss of appetite, and muscle ache are some of the symptoms. And these things will last for 24 to 72 hours. Now, chronic gastritis and acute gastroenteritis have the same symptoms. All right. Now, let me repeat these symptoms: nausea, this is when you have an upset stomach, nausea, vomiting. You also have fever, diarrhea, abdominal pain, loss of appetite, muscle aches. Now, these symptoms fit quite a lot of things, but it also fits chronic gastritis. Chronic gastritis. Let me repeat the symptoms because sometimes you may be having gastroenteritis, but you believe that it is you miss gastritis, right? Gastritis and gastroenteritis are two different things. All right. So what are the symptoms? The symptoms are similar. The symptoms are nausea, vomiting, fever, diarrhea, abdominal pain, loss of appetite, and muscle ache. These are some of the symptoms. Now, solutions. This disease is usually the sign of some underlying disorder, such as um, gastric or duodenal ulcer. So when you have gastritis, it means that something else is happening in your body, like gas. something else like duodenal, you have gastritis or duodenal ulcers and deficiency as a result of ammonia iron deficiency, which tells you that you have anemia. All right, and other things that might have is you might have is a decrease in your stomach acid as well. All right, now what are the natural remedies? The first thing that you should do is, if you are a smoker, you should stop smoking. If you're a smoker, stop smoking. All right. And so make sure that you do not smoke, or you are not absorbing secondhand smoke. If you're using alcohol, stop it. All right. Make sure you stop it. So if you're smoking, stop. If you're using alcohol, stop it. All right. When this occurs. Um, and then you should figure out which medicinal drug that you are using is causing the problem. So sometimes it is a medicinal drug that you have gotten from the doctor that is actually causing the problem. All right. Now, the following herbs are helpful: calendula tea, aloe vera juice will help heal the stomach walls. Listen closely. Calendula tea and aloe vera juice will help to heal the stomach walls. Another thing that may help to heal the stomach walls is arrowroot. So it is, you make something with the arrowroot, and let me explain what you make of it. You get the arrowroot and then you blend it, let it sit for a while, and when it sits for a while, it settles, and then you throw off the excess water that is on that gathers on top, and then what is left is the starch, and then you put that to dry, and then when it is dried properly, you mix out like 1 tablespoon in about 6 ounces of water, and you drink that, and it coats your stomach. All right. Now the coating of your stomach will help to heal your stomach as well. Another herbal hemp remedy that you can also use is Irish potato. In Jamaica we call it Irish potato. Other places they call it Canadian potato, Idaho potato, and so on. English potatoes. These potatoes, you drink the juice from it as well, and it will coat your stomach. All right. So this is very good to heal the stomach.
Yes, so we have a question here from Carol. She's asking, can you please tell me what is good for can you please tell me what is good for babies with worms besides Zentel? What are some good remedies
All right.
for worms?
One of the first thing you have to
Yes,
one of the first thing you have to find out is how old the baby
baby
is.
is,
All
yes.
right. So if you could tell us how old the baby is, then we could probably tell you what it is that you can use, because we have to make sure
That the dosage is
right
correct.
that the dosage is correct,
Yes. And
and
the herb is good for the baby.
right. So we have to make sure that we tell you the right thing to use. So please tell us what age you're looking at, and then we can begin to explain to you what are some of the herbs that you can use for that purpose as well.
Okay.
All right.
So
So
we await that information,
yes,
Carol.
please tell us that information, um, and then we can begin the process of telling you some of the things that you can use for your baby. So babies with worm is very difficult to treat if you don't know what you're doing, because you cannot give the baby anything, especially if you don't know the age of the child, and you don't want to, because you don't really want to overdose as well. And there are some age specific things that you can do for the baby as well. One of the things I can do for you, Carol Jackson, is to give you my number. You could type the number for me on it. Just type the number, and then I could speak to you off here about this one, because this is so very important. That I will give you the number on screen, and then you can get in touch with me, and I will tell you some of the things that you can use. All right, for babies with worm. very important, but make sure that we know the age of the child as well. This is very, very important. Right. And so we continue with chronic gastritis. Um, and some of the things that can be used as well is chamomile. Chamomile can be used, chamomile, ginger, or turmeric, because chronic gastritis can also be looked at as inflammation of the stomach. And so ginger and turmeric combined can also help. And chamomile will help to calm you so that the ginger and turmeric can work. So these three things that you're going to combine: chamomile, ginger, and turmeric. Most persons will go to the supermarket. When you go to the supermarket, you can purchase the tea bag, chamomile tea bag. All right, and you just combine this with ginger and turmeric. But if you're unable to do so, what works similar to chamomile is Spanish needle flowers. All right, very, very similar, because it's a nerve thing, and so you want to calm your nerves. The other thing that you can use is marshmallow or slippery elm. Slippery elm is just a fancy word that that the name of the tree we call in Jamaica is basida or bastard cedar. Right, bastard cedar. It is the same as slippery elm, but there is a way that you use it. You don't just use it willy nilly. You use a particular dosage, and you use it in a particular way. All right, and so it is very, very important to understand how you use these things. And when you understand this, then most of the problems that you have with the stomach, you won't have it anymore. All right. One of the things, since I spoke to you about chronic gastritis, let me also speak to you of gastroenteritis, right?
Yes.
Because the symptoms are very similar. Symptoms are similar, more than likely the same. They are very close. Gastroenteritis is occurring now in Jamaica very frequently. Gastroenteritis is occurring now in Jamaica very frequently, and some persons will kind of mix it up with leptospirosis. Now, gastroenteritis and leptospirosis are completely different. Remember the symptoms I gave you for chronic gastritis? Now, those are the same symptoms for gastroenteritis. So, chronic gastritis and the gastroenteritis are the same symptoms, and gastroenteritis are sometimes people refer to it as stomach flu, and it's known as stomach flu, or it is also an inflammation of the stomach. Inflammation of the stomach. And the symptoms are what are the same symptoms I gave you for gastritis. Symptoms are nausea, vomiting, fever, diarrhea, abdominal pain, loss of appetite, muscle ache, and these symptoms, which are usually acute, will last for 24 hours to 72 hours. All right. Now, let me repeat the symptoms of gastroenteritis, because it is very similar to leptospirosis, but you have to ensure that you understand what is happening to your body. We will tell you about leptospirosis a little later on, so you can do your comparison. Symptoms for gastroenteritis are nausea, vomiting, fever, diarrhea, abdominal pain, loss of appetite, and muscle aches. All right. Nausea, vomiting, fever, diarrhea, abdominal pain, loss of appetite, and muscle aches. Causes. What is it that causes gastroenteritis? Now, gastroenteritis is an inflammation of the gastrointestinal tract. An inflammation of the gastrointestinal tract. This includes both the stomach and the intestine. The stomach and the intestine. It is usually caused by viral and sometimes bacterial infection, allergies, stress, chemical irritation, or medicinal drugs. Antibiotics a frequent cause. They weaken the body. They weaken the body so a virus can attack. Many times you eat something that is dirty. Something that is dirty sometimes goes in your mouth, and it causes this to happen. All right, and for you to have gastroenteritis, and it is very very important for you to understand this. All right, something very dirty that you eat causes it. So, Carol Jackson, I'm going to ask you to call me as soon as the program is finished, and so. Um, all right. I can tell you some things now, but I would need to probably tell you how to administer them, so that you do not, um, you know, so that you do it properly. Um, Raw carrots can be used, pumpkin seeds can be used, or a little garlic and honey can also be used. Papaya seeds can also be used as well. All right, the papaya fruit and the seeds can be used, but we need to talk off here so that I can tell you how much to use and so on. So as soon as this program is finished, or you can call me, and we can speak about it. All right. So back to gastroenteritis. Back to gastroenteritis. Um, it may be caused by excessive alcohol, food poisoning, or a bacterial infection. An attack can be triggered by drugs such as aspirin or anti-arthritic medications. Now, let me repeat this because it's very important for us to understand this. What are the causes of gastroenteritis? It is usually caused by viral or sometimes bacterial infection, allergies, stress, chemical irritations, or medicinal drugs can cause it as well. Antibiotics are a frequent cause. They weaken the body so a virus can attack. So when you have gastroenteritis, your body is weakened, and it is the virus, other viruses can quickly attack your body. All right. It may also be caused by excessive alcohol, food poisoning, or bacterial infection. An attack can be triggered by drugs such as aspirin and anti-arthritic medications. Sometimes you might eat or drink something that is spoiled. Right? This is a bacterial problem now. You eat or drink something that is spoiled. Like for example, you had some drink, and it has been, it has been left out for a while. When you're drinking it, you realize that it is spoiled, but you continue to drink it anyway. It can cause gastroenteritis. It is also the same of foods, that when you eat foods that have been left out for a while, it can also cause it as well. All right, and so it can cause gastroenteritis. All right. Now, this disease is contagious. Gastroenteritis is contagious, so be careful. Wash your hands frequently and sterilize your clothes. All right, wash your hands frequently and sterilize your clothes. Why it is contagious is that, when you go near to somebody and you speak to them, they when you open your mouth to speak, there are liquids that come out of your mouth. When you breathe, sometimes there are liquids that come out of your nose, and the person is near to you, and the person might inhale these, and these things might go into the person's system. And so it is very important that if you identify that you are suffering from this, that you take precautionary measures. What are some of the natural remedies? The first thing that you'll probably do is to begin by giving the person activated charcoal. Give the person activated charcoal, and each dose should be of a specific nature. And so it is not just once that you're giving the person this. Maybe once, or you once, twice, three, up to three times you'll give it to the person, and each dose must be specific. All right. Keep the person in bed, and make sure that you give the person clear liquid, clear liquid to drink. is very, very important. Um, it says during the acute stage, while there is nausea and vomiting, the person must always get clear liquids to drink. Throughout the day, give small amounts of water, fruit juices, or ice chips to help restore the fluid that is lost. You can also administer the hydration, because this is to hydrate the person. So you know those hydration things that you normally do to persons who are constantly vomiting and constantly emitting fluids, getting rid of fluids. You make with Himalayan salt, make a mixture of Himalayan salt and water, about half a teaspoon of Himalayan salt mixed out in about a cup of water, and you let the person sip this. All right, it will cause the body to be rehydrated. Many times when the person has this, the blood pressure goes either very high or very low, and so this has to be monitored as well. All right, when the vomiting and diarrhea cease, give the person small amounts of non-irritated foods to eat. Now, some non-irritated foods are like cooked rice, but the person must not eat overnight rice. All right, so it's not a rice that you cook today, you have it in the refrigerator and give the person tomorrow. It must be fresh rice that is just cooked, or plain cooked tomatoes or pumpkins, plain cooked one, or cooked carrots and cooked bananas. All right, these are some of the things that you can give to the person. This is something that is digested easily, and so you give this to the person. All right, in small amounts, and you watch the person as they consume this to make sure that the person's body is regaining strength. Now, when you begin to get a little bit better, you are going to feel hungry. All right. So sometimes in the middle of the night or early morning, very early in the morning, you're going to feel very hungry. And so this part has to be monitored well. What is going in your stomach? And you cannot eat as how you would normally eat. You have to start slow, with easily digested foods. All right. Easily digested food, and start slow. If it is an infant, in small children and infants especially, watch for signs of dehydration. These signs include drowsiness, rapid respiration, dry skin, and mucous membrane. This is important. Mix 1 teaspoon of catnip tea in a cup of water. Steam for 15 minutes and drink while warm. This is very soothing to the digestive system. It um, it is it is when it is vomited up, um, give again immediately. It is more likely to be accepted and then kept down the second time. All right, and so make sure that you keep a close watch on these persons who have gastroenteritis. Let me say that now is the time when a lot of persons might have these, especially that we have like a hurricane just passed by, and there are a lot of foods that are spoiled, and so some persons will inevitably go and eat these, and these will cause a problem with your stomach. Some persons' stomach are not as strong as others. For example, two or three persons might eat the food, and might affect only one out of the set, because the person's makeup is a little bit different from the others. All right. Now, avoid junk foods like colas and black teas and coffee and alcohol and some of those tin foods that you see being sold. All right, so don't drink any of these tin foods, and don't drink any colas or alcohol or caffeine or any of those things. All right, these things will irritate the stomach, and so you don't want to administer anything to the person that will irritate the stomach. Avoid processed and greasy foods. Avoid all types of milk. All right. So avoid these milk things that you buy at the supermarket and so on. Avoid all of this, and foods that are high in roughage. Try to avoid these as well. All right, and avoid all irritating foods to the stomach. Try to avoid these as much as possible. And as I said before, do not smoke, or be near those who smoke. All right, and then just stop for a while and search out the cause, because many times you will see that you have not been you have done something out of the ordinary, and so you can find out exactly what the cause is, and then once you stop doing that thing, then you begin to administer the herbs that I told you before, then it will start to improve. Your condition will start to improve. But it is very important that you follow the instructions that are given to you. All right, and it will inevitably get well. All right, but just follow the instructions very, very well. All right, and so that is that for gastroenteritis. Very, very important for gastroenteritis. All right.
Okay, and we're going to be looking at another condition. Um, okay, Carol, you're welcome, and you can speak with Nebert afterwards, after the program. We finish sometime after at 6, and then you can speak with him afterwards. So we're going to be looking at another condition called peptic peptic ulcer. Now, peptic ulcer, um, another name for peptic ulcer is gastric ulcer, stomach ulcer, and duodenal ulcer. So these are some other words for peptic ulcer.
Duodenal.
Duodenal, yes, duodenal ulcer. All right. The symptoms of peptic ulcer are chronic burning or gnawing stomach pain, which often begins about 45 to 60 minutes after finishing a meal or at night. Drinking a large glass of water or eating food relieves it. Vomiting or swallowing something quite alkaline also does. Now, the pain sometimes awakens a person at maybe about 1 or 2 a.m. So these are the times that this occur. Pain just beneath the breastbone is a frequent symptom of an ulcer. Sometimes it radiates to the back. The pain is often considered to be heartburn or an empty stomach. Other symptoms may include headaches, a choking sensation, lower back pain, itching, and possible vomiting.
Mm.
All right, so these are the symptoms. Now, gastric ulcers are peptic ulcers occurring in the stomach. Duodenal ulcers are peptic ulcers occurring in the top part of the small intestine. Causes and treatment are essentially the same for all of these, right?
Mm.
These ulcers can be caused by wrong food or too much food. They can also be induced by severe nervous and mental stress. The walls of the stomach pour a powerful acid into the stomach, hydrochloric acid. This powerful fluid is needed to digest protein. Although the walls of the stomach are protein, they are not normally disturbed by the fluid. But when there are problems with people or with the food, then trouble can begin. So, why it says problems with people or with food? Because you can have mental stress as well. So that's where the people comes in.
Mm.
Now, two problems bring trouble when the stomach acid begins digesting the walls of the stomach, because too much HCI or hydrochloric acid is being produced, or protective mucus in order to protect the walls. This is not being produced. Now, let me do that again. Two problems bring trouble when stomach acids begin digesting the walls of the stomach, because too much hydrochloric acid is being produced, or protective mucus in order to protect the walls is not being produced. These ulcers can occur in the esophagus, but generally occur in the stomach or in the small intestine. Gastric ulcers, peptic ulcers in the stomach, this is the same thing, occur 2.5 times more often in men than in women, most frequently in the 40 to 55 age group. Duodenal ulcers, peptic ulcers in the small intestine, occur in the first 11 inches of the small intestine and are caused by excess hydrochloric acid from the stomach. These ulcers are found in men 4 times as often as in women, and most frequently between 25 and 40 years of age. Duodenal ulcers occur 10 times more often than gastric ulcers. As much as 15% of the US population, because these studies are done in the US, have ulcers, but only about half are diagnosed. Some are not discovered until the person begins vomiting blood. Ulcers especially occur during the spring and fall and tend to run in families. Many factors affect stomach acid secretion. Stress and anxiety increase it as well. Aspirin, steroids, anti-inflammatory drugs, and smoking all increase hydrochloric acid production. When you have stomach pain, drink some lemon juice. If the pain gets worse, you have too much acid in your stomach. Right? Hypoglycemics tend to produce too much hydrochloric acid and are in danger of eventually having a peptic ulcer. If you vomit blood or have coffee ground stools, then the ulcer is bleeding. You are in danger of bleeding to death. Go to a hospital immediately. Contact your health practitioner immediately and explain what is happening to you. Is your stomach pain caused by an ulcer? No. Here are some ways that you can find out. When you have the pain, swallow a teaspoon or a tablespoon of apple cider or lemon juice. All right, this is the test that you are going to do now. So when you have the pain, swallow a tablespoon of apple cider or lemon juice. Now, if the pain disappears, you do not have enough hydrochloric acid. If it makes it worse, you have an excessively acid stomach. So that is one of the tests that you can do. And of course, there are natural treatments that you can do.
Yeah.
All right. So for rapid pain relief, you can drink a large glass of water, pure, clean water. It dilutes the stomach acids and flushes them out. This is what the water does. And then you will have to consider making some adjustments in your diet. Right? So the first treatment, when you feel the pain, for the pain relief, you have to drink a large glass of water, because what the water does, it dilutes the stomach acids and it flushes them out. So it means you're going to go to the bathroom. All right. So for your diet now, you're going to eat small meals. All right. Potatoes are very helpful. They are soothing and have an alkaline reaction. Vitamin U is the anti-ulcer vitamin, and it is specific for peptic ulcers. Raw cabbage juice and alfalfa, these contain the most vitamin U. Boiling destroys the anti-ulcer factor, and wilted cabbage contains less vitamin U. So you need some fresh, wholesome cabbage. All right. So you're going to drink fresh raw cabbage juice immediately after you juice it. Don't let it sit. Just drink it immediately after you have juiced it. Drink a quart of this on a daily basis. Carrot juice can be added to improve the flavor as well. All right, so you don't need the wilted cabbage because that don't have enough, and you don't need to boil the cabbage. You juice it, the raw cabbage, and you drink it right immediately after you have juiced it. If you're bothered by the taste, you can add carrots to it to improve the flavor. Eat plenty of dark leafy green vegetables. If the symptoms are severe, soft foods such as potatoes and squash, bananas and yam food, etc., you can use these, you can eat these. Put other vegetables through a blender and drink the juice. If you have a bleeding ulcer, add some selenium seed to the food. Now, well cooked white rice and millet are good. And I said well cooked, not the what they call it, the shelly rice. Well cooked rice. That is good. And you add millet to it. Fiber in the diet keeps food in the stomach longer and reduces the likelihood of duodenal ulcers. In earlier years, the recommended treatment included frequent feedings, milk intake, and bland diet, but this approach is being discarded. All right. So persons will tell you that you are to drink milk, but do not drink milk. All right?
No, milk is bad.
No, that is bad for you. So you don't need to drink milk. All right? You just use these natural foods to heal your stomach. All right? Okay. Now, these can lead in you if you take in the sipping. These persons tell you to sip milk, warm milk and cream, these thick cream. Now what these can lead to myocardial infarcts and infractions, and then you will have heart attacks. You will have a heart attack. So the problem seems um, to escalate. So you don't want to do this. Now, the bland diet approach is also being discarded because those foods neither relieve pain nor speed up the healing. So instead, you have to eat these foods that I mentioned, your leafy vegetables, your soft foods, potatoes, squash, bananas, yam, etc. And you can also juice your vegetables and drink them. And the cabbage must be fresh, not wilted or boiled. All right, you just drink it. Wash it properly, wash the leaves, and you blend it. All right. Now, doctors in India, what they do, they use dried banana powder to treat the ulcers. Right. But Also, fresh bananas are also good. So you can use a banana. You can even blend the banana and drink it as well. All right. Make sure your food that you consume has in vitamin A, zinc, copper, and glutamate. All right. These now is the principal source of energy for stomach and intestinal wall cells. So you need to build your stomach cells and walls, your intestinal wall cells. Now, there are some things that you need to avoid when you treat with peptic ulcer. Avoid all situations resulting in tension, stress, irritability, nervous strain, anger, or fear. Complete rest and relaxation from pressing problems and worries is needed. All right? Do not eat fried foods, tea, coffee, or caffeine products, salt, chocolate, animal fats, strong spices, or drink soft drinks or any carbonated drinks. Do not drink cow's milk. Do not smoke. All right. If you do, do not expect the ulcer to heal properly. All right. Or try not to be around persons that smoke as well. Salt is a stomach and intestinal irritant. High salt intake increases stomach ulcers. A diet high in sugar increases hydrochloric acid production. White bread also causes more hydrochloric acid to be made. Those with ulcers tend to eat more sugar, and sugar increases hydrochloric acid production. Do not eat between meals. Doing so slows emptying of the stomach and thereby increases the hydrochloric acid amounts in the stomach. Do not take antacids or painkillers, such as especially and such as aspirin. No, that increases the problem. The calcium carbonate in the antacid doubles the amount of hydrochloric acid production. Most antacids contain aluminum, as was said before, which can cause Alzheimer's as well. The aspirin causes the stomach to bleed. And if you have bleeding ulcers, then that is going to compound the problem. Do not use medicinal drugs. Exposure to allergies can cause stomach bleeding as well because these drugs have side effects and you don't want these and most of them are irritants, so you don't want to use these. There are some other helps that there are other things that you can do when you eat. You should chew your food slowly and properly. So take your time, not in a rush when you're eating. And you can also exercise. Exercise neutralizes stress. Maintain a daily program of outdoor exercise, all right, because you're going to need the fresh air and you're going to need the sunlight. Make sure the bowels move daily or take cleansing enemas for this. You can help to do this. Your food should be high in fiber, so this can help to eliminate the food. You don't want the food to stay in your intestines, build up, and then it causes more hydrochloric acid production, which will compound the problem. For peptic ulcer pain, apply an ice bag to the abdomen just above the navel or place it on the spine between the shoulder blades. This will help. Do not chew gum. The digestive process starts when you chew. This prompts the body to secrete enzymes in the gastrointestinal tract. If there is no food in the stomach for the enzymes to digest, then trouble begins. All right? And of course, there are some herbs that, so we looked at the treatment. The first treatment is make sure you drink a large glass of water. All right. And for your diet, you need to eat small meals and you need to make sure you use your potatoes. These are helpful, they are soothing and have an alkaline reaction. And your leafy greens, your vitamins, especially vitamin A, copper, and glutamine, these are very important. Vitamin U as well. And make sure you eat those foods. And there are some foods that you are to avoid, and some things that you need to avoid. And I'm going to reiterate these. You need to avoid all situations resulting in tension, in stress, in irritability, anything that makes you nervous or that is strenuous, anything that or any situation that causes you to be fearful or to get angry. You need to relax and make sure you get some rest. Leave the pressing problems and worries and get some relaxation and rest. Do not eat fried foods. Do not take caffeine or coffee or its products. Salt, chocolate, animal fats, any strong spices or drink, and make sure you don't drink any carbonated drink. Do not drink cow's milk. Do not smoke or be around persons who smoke. Okay? Sugar intake, white bread, and salt, these should be eliminated. Do not eat between meals as well. Do not take any antacids or these painkillers because these contain aluminum. Most of the antacids do, and they can um, compound the problem. Also, they can also lead to Alzheimer's disease, and you don't want that. All right, so the aspirin causes the stomach to bleed, and you don't want that problem. Do not take medicinal drugs and exposure to allergies. These can cause stomach bleeding as well. Okay, so chew your food properly and slowly. Make sure you get some exercise. You can also use hydrotherapy by using a ice bag on the area, on the abdomen, or on your back between your spine, your sorry, between your shoulder blades. Put it on your spine between your shoulder blades. All right. Do not chew gum because when you start chewing, your digestive process will start once you start chewing. And then if there it prompts your body to secrete the enzymes for in the gastrointestinal tract. And then if there is no food in the stomach for the enzyme to digest, then you're going to have problems. Okay? Now there are some herbs that you can use that are very helpful. Some bioflavonoids, including quercetin, um, and inhibit the growth of the bacteria which causes the ulcers. Now, chamomile contains those bioflavonoids, so you can use chamomile. All right. Licorice has been used for centuries to soothe inflamed and injured portions of the intestinal tract. It increases mucin and fights um, H. pylori. Best to take it in the form of DGL, and this is deglycerinated licorice, that you can ask for that form at the health food store, which these will not increase blood pressure or cause water retention. So take 1 to 2. These are tablets and these are natural tablets. You can take 1 to 2 chewable tablets 1 to 2 hours before bedtime. Also, extremely good is marshmallow roots. St. John's Wort and Malva These both calm the stomach and reduce intestinal irritation as well. Also helpful are bilberry, flax, catnip, golden seal, bayberry, and myrrh. Aloe vera is also good. It accelerates healing, so you can also use aloe vera. Hops, skullcap, and valerian, these will help you to sleep. So these are very calmatives, and these will help you to sleep as well. All right. And some dietetic considerations that you need to consider. Rest. Make sure you rest in bed. Make sure you get some sleep. All right. And make sure um, you can also use some hot blanket pack, like some hydrotherapy for healing as well. These help to reduce pain, so you can use that. All right, make sure you rest, because rest. My grandson or grandson would say, "Mommy, when you are," he often tells his mother, "Mommy, when you're not well, rest is best." All right, so we are going to take that advice. When you are not well, rest
Rest is
is
best.
best. Okay. you know, um, God fixes no limit to the advancement his children can make. If they will but surrender their lives to his guidance and study and obey his inspired writings, God will fix no limits on the advancement his children can make.
Yeah.
And I just want to leave something with you from biblical dietetics again, because it is important, that we take the measures that we need to take in order to be healthy.
Yeah.
We need to do that, and God can help us if we want to be helped. All right. There is we have the 8 laws of health that can help us, and there are some things that we need to do when 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 we want to be healthy. We have to make a deliberate action. I saw something earlier that I wanted to to share with you. Um, God has given us the diet that um, we should practice in Genesis 1:29. Grains, fruits, nuts, and vegetables constitute the diet chosen for us by our Creator. Now, these foods prepared in a simple and natural manner as possible are the most helpful and nourishing. They impart a strength, a power of endurance, and a vigor of intellect that are not afforded by a more complex and stimulating diet. But not all foods, wholesome in themselves, are equally suited to our needs under all circumstances. So, care should be taken in the selection of food. Our diet should be suited to the season, to the climate in which we live, and to the occupation we follow. We must, we must surrender our appetite to God so that He can um, help us to do the right things. And just to remind you of the 8 laws of health, and some of them have been mentioned in the presentation, because some of the things that we need to do as part of our remedies is to follow the 8 laws of health. Nutrition is very important. Exercise is very important. We need to drink a lot of water. We need to go outside and take in some of the sunlight. Temperance is also important. Fresh air, rest, and of course, all of these are not possible if we don't trust in God. Good evening, Valerie. It is nice of you to join us. We are almost at the end of our program,
At the end.
but we are at the end. But it is nice to see you and nice to have you on. sharing in this program with us. Now, these that I have mentioned, this spells the acronym New Start. And I want us to have to purpose in our heart to make that promise, that pledge that we are going to have a new start as it relates to our health and our diets. All right. So today is Sunday. Today, make that new start and allow God to rule in our lives, surrender our wills to Him so that He can heal us because He is our healer. All right?
Amen. Yeah. Let us pray. Thank you so very much for joining us this evening on this program.
Yes.
Your company, we really appreciate your company. Let us pray. Our Father, which art in heaven, we thank you for your blessings. We thank you for being with us this afternoon. Pray that your Holy Spirit would have touched the hearts of your people and that the information that was given will be used by them to help to fulfill the health problems that they may be experiencing. That they will begin afresh with you, will trust you, and will allow you to lead them in the path that they should go for a healthier self. Thank you for your blessings and thank you for being with us this afternoon. For Christ's sake, we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Have a wonderful and healthy week.